Welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma, playing the Hermitcraft, doing the intro the same way it's always done. Bananas are in the chat. Bear, Curls, Dev Chimera, thank you for letting me know that we are live. That we are live on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma. Okay, shut up, X. Shut up. Stop it. You're destroying my brain. I said to myself, peeps, we're doing things with Skulk. Look at me, I've got Skulk. Why is my helmet off? Oh, it's because I took a little selfie to make a little. Oh, that's the wrong button. That's the wrong button. To make a little picture for the tweets that let you know, the posts and the tweets that say, hey, I'm live, and you should come watch. And thank you for paying attention to that and turning up. Please never shut up, says Banyan. Oh, God. Well, fortunately, that's sort of my job here, is to not shut up. Because this is what happens when I shut up. Okay, I'll talk now. That joke, tried it. It didn't seem that good. Is there a slab there? There's a slab there. Oh gosh, placing blocks of all of this stuff around. Ugh, just managed to place it in the right spot. AJ Main 12, thank you for 31 months. Bear 818, thank you for 17 months. Great stream intro. It was 10 out of 10. Oh, that's lovely. And my stream intros, they get rated now. Love it. Love it. We need to make more of these. It should be obvious what I'm doing if you've been following recent events. We are working on the Hermitcraft TCG Arena. And, all's good in the hood, homie. All's good in the hood. Yeah, I am making the lettering around the outside because I now have the Skulk. You'll have to wait until the next episode of Hermitcraft to see how I got my hands on that stuff. It was actually a lot of fun because I designed a unique, interesting little farm to get it that had a little bit of a throwback to... Wait, why was that a slab? I had a throwback to Season 2. Season 2, yeah, it was Season 2. Every time I think of it, in my head I keep thinking Season 3, but no, it was Season 2. Such a long time ago. Soundwave Hope, thank you for 32 months. Appreciate ya. Appreciate ya supporting. Life is chaos right now, but I had to hop in for 32 months. Hope you're doing well. Well, I hope the chaos resolves itself. Life does that every now and then, right? You go through things happen. It can be crazy like that. I wish you all the best. The Purple Crown says, what are you building? The Hermitcraft TCG Arena. Which will involve doing some landscaping real soon. Also, it says late night landscaping. It's not technically that late night. But I like the way it sounded, right? Late night landscaping. Oh, we're going to place down a shrubbery. Okay, these go here, those go there. Molly the Spy here for 7 months. Thank you so much, Molly. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. Now, if you're wondering why am I in a cheerful mood today, because I just realised I'm in a pretty cheerful mood. Just having one of those days, doing the things you need to do, keeping the new ideas about what I do front and centre, mental health and all that, and just feeling like, I'm on a good stride. I'm getting things right. I'm happy with what I'm doing. And here we are, enjoying a little live stream. A little old live stream again. My little treat at the end of the day. The Criminal Squirrel, thank you for subscribing. The Criminal Squirrel. Love the name. I watched the Rick and Morty episode today when I was on the treadmill, going for a bit of a run. The one where... It's such a great episode. I love how unbelievably crass and silly that show can be, whilst also sort of being deep on different levels. And that one kind of goes a little psychological about the codependency of of Rick and Morty to one another, but it does it through the lens of like a clip show where they go into this room that has all of their like memories, like what was it called, Morty's Mind Blowers. So it's got all these like suppressed memories that they can reactivate and look at. And there's one where Morty goes Doolittle and can listen to what animals are saying. And, you know, like, they're all just saying these cute, hilarious little things. And then the squirrels are like, they're like conspiracy. They're dictating the events taking place around the world. And, oh, it's just so funny. It's such a great episode. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but just such a great little gag. It's not the whole episode, it's just like a moment of it. We got Ratata Moon here for 10 months, and Curls of Doom gifting a sub to TurtleBurger681. Turtle, be sure to say thanks in the chat. That also reminds me we're due a Create stream. Possibly Saturday evening is shaping up. I'll make a note and I'll keep it on my mind. Because when I'm not sure what I'm doing and it involves other people's availability to make something happen, it's pretty typically something that I just struggle to put like a day on. And I keep reminding myself that I've been forgetting to do that. And so, yeah, we'll make it probably make it happen Saturday if we all can work out and go to plan and all that. Right, I'm also in a good mood because I got a cup of decaf here to drink as well. Oh, and speaking of drinks and food, so I put a bunch of food in my fridge last night, and I must have grazed the temperature dial. And by grazed, I mean probably pushed it as far as it can go, because loads of stuff in my fridge is frozen. It's like a freezer in there. I had to put yogurt in the microwave to make it edible today. Like, that's not good. And my cans of kombucha actually kind of got a bit of pop from being slightly icy. Just, I don't know, like, I've learned that kombucha really cold is really nice. Like, the colder the nicer, honestly. It just gives it so much more sort of fizz. Oh, I missed something there as well. Probably missed stuff all over the place, haven't I? Yeah, made it across. Oh my goodness me, what's going on here? Oh, I see. Sometimes my alerts like separate everything and it looks crazy. Astronomical Joy, thank you for gifting 5 subs to Lost Decoy Found, Raven X Monster, Nissan Alberg, Simon Scholar, and Bubbly Queen. If you heard your name being read out loud, be sure to say thanks in the chat, and thank you for gifting those subs. We appreciate it around here. Yogurt. No yogurt. I can spell, I promise. Sleepy Skidders, I have no idea what that means. Yogurt. Is that how I say it? It's pretty cold outside, so no need to have your freezer so low. It's a fridge. It's supposed to refrigerate, not freeze. Hence, frozen yogurt. Which was frozen into a big lump of unedible noise. Same for my fruit, actually. So I've been eating some canned fruit as of late. Like you can get it just canned in juice, like peaches and pears, and a fruit cocktail is another one, just a mix of a bunch of stuff. Yeah, there were just lights on the front there, and then there was supposed to be more grey concrete below. I chucked all that stuff away. Grey concrete. Anyways. Yeah, so I had a can of that in there, and even that had frozen. You know, I knew I had to do something with these end rods, so we're gonna just take care of that. It's done. Good. Oh, I've heard canned peaches are really nice, says Noel Voidface. There's a few pieces of fruit that I don't like pears, no, sorry, plums and peaches, I think. No, apricots. And I'm not sure if I've had a peach just, you know, tried it and not liked it, but The canned variety, very nice. Very nice. I had some on holiday, you see. Not that it was canned on holiday, just that they served it in a big bowl of juice with all these chopped up peaches, and I was like, I want some of that. And I got some of the canned stuff because it's got all the juice as well. And yeah, really like having fruit and yogurt together like that. Good combo. Scottish Noob, thank you ever so much for your Amazon Prime subscription. Appreciate you doing that. Hope you're entertained, enjoying the stream. Do I see mobs? That is an interesting question. Now, I might not be able to see... Hi, Tango. Why did I put hi X? If I use the free cam, I might not be able to see them like in caves. I don't have the details of the mobs on there. Dang. Yeah, the other thing I needed to do is just set my status. Tango cannot see slimes at all, not even a hitbox. Is Tango streaming? I mean, the idea of mobs being invisible right now is kind of terrifying. But maybe needs to be investigated. Because I definitely do not see anything. So now's a great time to do this experiment while... Oh, I see a creeper. Some good decaf. And another one, and yeah, they're spawning here. Yeah, when I was doing the redstone down here, I think I talked about that. I, you know, like, had the creeper in the redstone once, went round, checked the area, you know, vigorously, making sure there's no more around. Alright, we're good. And then one blew up and I couldn't even see it. It was just like, hang on, I just did a check. Like where could that have come from? Anyway, if you play Minecraft for long enough, you will encounter invisible creepers. It's just one of those things. One time... I can't remember if I was recording or not. I think I came very close to capturing it on camera. It was in season 5, and I had a sizzle, and I like turned around, or did something, and then the sizzle stopped, and I had a camera account on, and you could see it on the camera account, but not on my main account. But I don't think I was able to hit record in time to like capture it or something. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It happens. It's annoying. I mean, the game is riddled with bugs. It's sort of why Minecraft is the way it is, I guess. Is it on the bug tracker, says Veggie? I mean, it's probably not, because, like, what is the bug, right? To say invisible creeper just doesn't give the devs anything to work with, does it? So, like, in order to fix things like that, you have to figure out why they're happening. So if I had recorded it, let's say, I mean, it would be a good bit of evidence of, oh right, okay, in this update, in this version of Minecraft, right, we've got a video of it happening. But the thing is, it's been reported in the past and then reported to have been fixed, and you still get them from time to time. So whatever causes it, Tango logs off, and all of a sudden I hear more mobs. Whatever causes it, you know, it'll probably get fixed and then reappear and whatever, because it's just the nature of the game. But if, you know, that video may have provided some insight, but really all it would show you is that, look, on this camera account you can see the creeper, but you can't on the main account. So, like, what's going on? Where'd you start? I've had Entities being invisible via server-side troubles, not sending proper updates to clients, says Dev Chimera. Interesting. Interesting. If you know what it's doing on the technical side of things, then yeah, maybe an insight is to be had. Cool. Anyway, today I got a talky topic to talk about: thoughts and opinions. All right. You know what I think about those? Oh, thoughts and opinions. Why do we have them? I'm going to run out of this stuff. I thought I brought loads with me. If I take a trip back, I've got to remember to get more grey concrete, right? So there is a latest controversy on the internet. Who would have thought? Time has traversed and somehow the internet is outraged at something again. What is it this time, eh? What is it this time? Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess? Curl's got it straight away. Well done. Well done. Bear's got it second. And Tilly the Hun, 3 out of 3. The first 3 guesses, nailed it. I guess it's the thing that everyone's talking about. Everyone's thinking about it. Let's start with you. What's your hot take? Okay? Where's your slam dunk at? Tell me how right you are. You know? Tell me how you got it all figured out. TFI says deepfakes, question mark. No. The controversy is MrBeast. MrBeast uploaded a video. And it's got people talking. Wait, how is that a controversy, says Lucaro? Ah, someone hasn't been exposed to the internet's unlimited capability for outrage. The one where he fixes their vision, that's the one. Maceco, good to see you in chat, my dude. Oh yeah, cataracts. Is that the technical terminologies? Terminology. What a great word that I just made up. 1,000 surgeries, yeah, and they cost like 10,000 each. Here's the I'll give you all the outrage. It seems like a lot of people in my chat just, for the most part, don't care. Which is kind of a lot of stuff online, like this term, vocal minority. Let's break it down. Let's break it down a little bit. You know, I can give you 10 tweets saying how terrible something is, but how do you know how that opinion scales to all the people that have an opinion on it, right? Being able to voice yourself online is great, but when you're reading other people's voices, it doesn't give you a balanced perspective. It's hard to know how much this represents what the majority of people think, or how rational or reasonable people are being, right? Echo chambers. Those echo chambers, you're in an underpass, you're shouting and hollering, you hear yourself back. No, not that echo chamber, the online one. Let's get this up here. The deal with echo chambers is that we're all in one, basically. We all have an echo chamber. We like certain types of things that we watch online. I've been watching loads of Star Trek-y videos lately. Puts me in the little Star Trek echo chamber, because now that's all that YouTube will recommend to me, right? I've been playing board games lately, and then I just start to notice them more everywhere, right? Like, you go to your local shop, you didn't really pay attention to the board game section before, now you're having a browse thinking, oh, these look interesting. Then you start to think, hang on a minute, like, is this a thing? Is this in right now? So anyway, like, people are voicing opinions about this. It's probably good that there's a discussion. The type of discussion I've seen taking place on Twitter tends to lack that ability for like nuance and compassion between people. It's the slam dunk and that I've got the answer and all of that stuff. I find it difficult to engage with. So Bear says, I think it's good that he's helping people, but I don't know if he needs to show him helping people. You can help someone without being public about it. Astronomical Joy says, I'm disabled myself and I feel a bit gross about someone fixing disabilities as a way to farm content. Tilly the Hun says, I completely understand why he's making the videos. It's his business model and how he makes money. People have done worse on the internet. B5 says, I think the system is what's wrong. Banyan says it's frustrating in a way that MrBeast's cataract video would only exist because of the broken system, not his videos itself. Other than, I don't know why it's angry worthy. Also saying from Fi, I think Twitter is just demonizing a rich man doing something good for a broken system that requires someone rich to help people. A Mad Hatter says, I watched the video, enjoyed it and appreciated the act, recognizing that he's profiting and that's how he paid to help them. And I have him as a blocked term on Twitter. I see. Lots of opinions, and honestly, I was going to read some of them again. Never mind. Honestly, like, I think most of them have an element of truth in. Right? For me, the big thing that I learned about MrBeast is by listening to podcasts of him, you get a sense of who he is, okay? And I think there's not a lot of people in this world who can have nefarious intent and to the point where they can go out there on podcasts and make up a public image that tricks people, right? I think that's an incredibly difficult thing to do. He just seems very genuine and an honest person when you hear him in the podcast. He's open about what he wants to do, how he wants to do things. And, you know, he talks about wanting to make the greatest YouTube videos. I think that's where his idea would start, would probably be, let's, you know, try and make a great video, right? And he obviously likes doing philanthropic things as well. And so an opportunity to mix these together, you know, someone pitches the idea of what if we could cure a whole bunch of people with blindness or some other thing. And it's like, that would make a great video. Let's do that. So I think he cares about making great videos, and I think he's a good person who wants to take up opportunities to help people in the world, right? Now, there have been people on YouTube in the past who did similar things and did not get that sense from me. Not that I'm a great censor of who people are, but certainly other commentators online. I remember it was around the era of like prank videos, fake pranks, prank invasion. You would get people doing stuff for content like giving money to the poor, and they would go out there, $100, $10, you know. It's a good drink here. They would give money to the poor, and they would use this to make content, to make videos, and it came across with a not so good intention vibe, more of a YouTube vibe. You know, trying to engineer views and stuff on YouTube. And when people say that about MrBeast, that is what he does. He is trying to figure out how to beat the YouTube game. That's his passion. But it comes from a good place, and I think that's what's really important. Everything he's doing seems to come from a good place. Now, as for extending this to the bigger world and talking about how society is broken, what I would like to remind people of is that we crawled out of the cave, okay? So go back to the days of caveman and talk about curing blindness. How do we achieve that? How do we cure cavemen of their blindness? Got to build society. Got to go through hundreds of years of scientific research and building up healthcare institutions. I think sometimes we forget we're in the arc of progress. We're in the middle of it. People are saying fire and witchcraft. Well, that, you know, witchcraft was something they tried in the past, and now we're like, nah, we think modern medicine's a bit better than that, you know? How many people are into witchcraft these days? Not so many. By the way, Null Voidface, thank you ever so much for subscribing. Appreciate ya. Point that I'm trying to make is just that, like, there are problems that have been solved for the most part. There are things in our society that we kind of take for granted, like most of us having clothes, access to food is so much better than it's ever been. You know, we crawl out of the muck. And we're making progress. And the reason I say it like this is because the argument seems to be framed so absolutely, as if like somehow society's designed to be cruel and unfair, whereas actually it's like a big unfolding process, slowly creeping in the right direction with ups and downs and bumps along the way. So I think it's a great conversation starter for talking about, well, why can't we cure blindness cheaper than 10,000 per operation? That's what I'd like to see. That I think would be a great jumping off point to go, look at what MrBeast did. You know, he put all of this money and it costs 10,000 per operation. What in society can be changed? Where can we make investments, you know, legislative changes? What can we do to make that more accessible? Because obviously people think this should be more accessible for more people. You can't snap your fingers and just make it happen overnight, like, oh, we'll just tax billionaires and all of a sudden everyone can be cured of blindness. The world is not that simple. But like, we should be figuring out the ways to move in that sort of direction, right? And if MrBeast kicks off that conversation, that's great, but I don't think it should be something that gets turned against him and railed against him. That just seems pointless to me. He's just trying to do something good in an imperfect world. And if we took that video as inspiration to then go out and perhaps change some elements of the world to make it fairer, maybe next time MrBeast makes his curing blindness video, you know, he cures 10 times as many people for the same amount of money. So that's the way that I look at this thing. And we'll take some more thoughts and opinions now based on what I just said. Noel Voidface says, there's a lot of bad in the world. If MrBeast is able to help some people be more independent, I think that's good. It also makes people conscious about the broken system of the US. People should be focusing on that, to be honest. Yeah, I like that you say system. I think system's a really good word, because when we focus on individuals, we then need to understand their intent. And occasionally we focus on an individual and their intent maybe is really clear, but I think demonizing MrBeast on this one is just not the way to move forward on how to deal with this stuff. You know, it should be kicking off a conversation about the system and what can be done to improve it, right? Nick the Gooner says, I don't think he is profiteering. He is a guy trying to help because he has lots of money. These kind of things can't happen without the ad revenue. You see, profiteering, it's one of those words that gets kind of used in the slam dunk context. I think that there's clearly an element of overlapping things here. He does make money from this. This is part of his business model. But clearly he's a good guy and his actions are creating good in the world. And for that reason I find it very difficult to demonize what he's doing as an individual. If you want to make a comment about, like, it doesn't feel right that individuals should be doing this in our world, that perhaps it should be our governments and our societies that can better take care of people, then that's a great way to think about it. But like, that shouldn't be on him if he's in this current environment just trying to do something good. You know, it shouldn't be on him. Viking Leonard, Viking Leader Red, X, you're such an inspiration to me. You have helped me with my depression and fears. You are a wonderful, kind person. Keep being you, man. You rock. Thank you for that lovely message, my dude. I'm glad I could have been in help in some way. Hi, Xisuma. I miss your announcements on YouTube when you go live on Twitch. Yeah, I stopped uploading the videos. I don't know. I feel like YouTube perhaps punishes you a little bit, algorithms and yada yada yada. And to be fair, there isn't a massive difference. So every now and then I'll post a video when I feel like I not only want to announce that I'm live, I want to inform people a little bit, and maybe there's something cool we're doing. We want to bring in a few more people than usual. But yeah, I've kind of just stopped doing that over there now. Numbers mess with your heads. Like, sometimes it's nice just to take an action that's like not revolving entirely around the numbers. Alright. I like to just try and focus on having great fun in my streams and enjoying whatever we're talking about. And yeah, sometimes you just got to forget that numbers are a part of that. Aretha Place says, I think some people don't have faith in the fact that someone can be actually nice and kind. That is true. There is so much negativity that we can focus on in this world. Oh. I'm going to do drink the rest of this tea quickly. Polly2 says, Mr. Charity is largely a tax deductible. 11 of his 50 employees have expressed negativity in how they're treated by MrBeast. I mean, you just threw around some numbers. I would ask where they came from, etc., before just believing that. As for charitable things being tax deductible, to try and leverage it as if it's a tax advantage, I don't think is fair, because you can participate in charity simply as an intention, and let's face it, when it comes to paying taxes, there ain't a lot of people who are going to pay more than they have to, right? Like, pretty much everyone, when they fill out their tax forms, okay, everyone here, myself included, you're not trying to figure out how to give the government more than you owe. You're just trying to figure out, how do I give them the bare minimum of what I owe, right? That's what everyone does with tax. So it's always like a convenient thing when you can sort of be like, oh, but taxes, you know, tax deductions or whatever. It's all a little too convenient to throw that one out, I believe. I mean, some people may be out there. Like, I often wondered, what if, like, I've never felt great about a government in this country. I've never felt like, oh, you lot are doing great, you're knocking it out of the park. Has anyone ever felt that way? Has anyone ever felt like being a citizen of a country, oh yeah, I'm really on board with what we're doing here, right? Now, obviously, you know, the world keeps on ticking by and things are slowly getting better in many different measures, yet politics and governments never seems to be the lens that makes you feel like that's the way it's going down. So I've never felt that about a government. But if I did, if I were like, oh, I love what they're doing this thing, this is making a great difference. Maybe it's because I don't even pay attention to what they're doing half the time. But anyway, like, maybe you might be incentivized to think, actually, I want to pay more taxes. I want to contribute to this cause and the way things are being organized. I've never experienced that feeling, though. To come back to that message, though, about feeling like there's not a lot of good people in the world, it's just the negativity bias. We're always seeing negativity. We're missing out on seeing the little acts of cooperation and goodwill between one another, right? Something that I like try to do, it's really simple, and anyone here can do it as well, but like when you're on the phone to someone sorting something out, like I had to sort out getting my car repaired today, right? Or you're at the shops and there's like a cashier you're talking to, like it can be a little bit difficult sometimes to do this, but like just try it whenever you can, whenever it feels right, but just try and be as nice as possible. You know, thank you for your help, have a great day. Like, it might just make someone's day a little bit brighter, and it's nice to do. You know, it's nice to be nice to people. Sometimes you might answer the door because you got a delivery. It's so simple to go, oh, cheers, and take it. But you can also just, you know, perk yourself up and say, oh, thank you very much, cheers, have a good one. Right? Like, and people respond to that. But all those little nice interactions we have with people are the ones we just seem to gloss over, and then we focus on these big negative things going on in the world. I'm not saying let's bury our heads in the sand and pretend nothing bad's happening. I'm just saying that there is a bias. You're gonna pay more attention to negative stuff than you are positive stuff, and if you're aware of that, it might help you just think about things a little bit more from a balanced perspective. Michael 1997, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it, my dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Vegeta says, I feel like the problem is that this system is not going to fix itself. Like capitalism is a self-propagating system and it will not die by itself. And that's why MrBeast has to do things like this to support his good deeds. As you may know, I try and avoid sort of absolute ways of thinking, and God, that was a little snap sound in the voice. I try and avoid like absolute ways of thinking about things, And I think capitalism falls under the same umbrella, because compare what living like is today under capitalism compared to 100 years ago, and it's pretty difficult to deny that some progress has happened and good things along the way. It certainly doesn't seem like the most optimal way to organise society, but people have tried other systems and it hasn't gone so well. So I don't know what I would propose. But it's, you know, I feel like it's more about operating from within. If you really feel like this system has problems, like, look at where you yourself can get involved in perhaps fixing and changing some of these problems, right? Like, because that's what it's made up. It's made up of people influencing it. Oh dear. Ouch. Hope Ren's okay. So what we're going to do is put a bit of a border around all of this, and then maybe start... it's an iron farm. Maybe start a bit of a... oh, we've got any slabs here? We have. Yeah, maybe start a bit of a flower bed, a bit of a box. We kind of need a plan of action, actually. We need to, like, look and plan, I think, is an important thing. Like, having a grand entrance to lead up to here would be nice, you know? Okay, already I'm thinking, like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Or maybe we could focus on one thing at a time. Like, hey, we know we want to have something lead up to here, so how do we build that? I think we would we'd probably put some grand old lawns sort of swooping down over in that direction. Are there any other parts that give me some strong visuals here? This area is kind of higher. You know, it just makes me think, like, a blank canvas of, like, what's going to be in it. You need some semblance of functionality, and when you don't have that, sometimes you have flower beds and you have trees and gardens, but we do need an entrance, right? So I reckon big path down the middle, maybe like 3 paths over to this area, and then have a big patch of, like, grass through on either side. Maybe Scar could come in and build some of his custom trees. So I'm thinking what we actually want is moss and grass, really, over here. Maybe that's the way in which we start to progress this. So definitely feeling like I need a bit more vision, you know. Now, I can actually go nearby to grab these things, if I'm not mistaken. Let's also tidy up this inventory a little bit further. I've got a leftover beacon, and could just do with another project box for throwing stuff in. And then the lantern box can go back in there, and we've got a nice tidy inventory again. Just may need to spend some diamonds where we're going. Drew Dude, thank you so much for 20 months. Appreciate ya. Hope you're enjoying the stream and having a good one. Typically, Thomas says, people always see the worst in everything because evolution has encouraged caution. Does mean we're pretty cynical race that as a whole, not as individuals, just has trust issues hardwired. Yeah, that's a nice eloquent point, I think. I love Hermitcraft, where the idea of a leftover beacon is commonplace. Well, you can have a leftover beacon in any world. Once you got 2, and you got one that you move about, it's just left over from something else you were doing, right? That's the way I see it. Right, so where do we get moss from? Oh, there must be some sort of shop, right? Where you can just grab a load. I hope, yeah, I hope you can just buy them like that. Because for my needs, I think you used to buy bone meal for the farm, or brone meal. Yeah, 1 stack, 1 diamond. Brone meal, right? Isn't it labelled? Is it brone meal? That's the one. Okay. So I have diamonds. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There you go. Good trade, good trade. While I'm here, I wonder if my bones sold it any further. Like, last time I streamed, I stocked it up. Who knows? Do you ever get overwhelmed by trying to optimize your day or stuff in a game, X? Or do you not have trouble relaxing and enjoying a slower paced gaming if you want to? I've had all sorts of troubles here and there with stuff like that, but my previous mentality was like to power through, to get things in a list and chew through it, and that worked for a long time. But recently it didn't work. Something underlying shifted or changed, and paying attention to that was important. But I feel myself getting like kind of like back into a groove of wanting to just like do the thing and then do the next thing like I'm used to. So today I was kind of like in that groove, but I just also like I realized that has to end at some point, and then you just got to chill out. So I'm not trying to like overdo it. Oh, do you know what I just realized? We actually want green wool, not grass. We sussed that out last time, didn't we? We sussed that out last time. Akuinu says, people are lazy and greedy. Social pressure aids us in that realm at times. And based on what we were just saying a minute ago about an attraction to negativity and not making absolute statements, it's like people can be lazy, they can be greedy. You know? Maybe sometimes environment persuades that, or maybe sometimes someone's inner being or whatever does, or doesn't. Some people aren't lazy and greedy, right? I consider myself allergic to lazy, personally. That's one thing I'm sure of. Like, I have a hard time doing nothing. The most nothing that I can do is like enjoy a show or a movie. So I'm good with that. But I can't just like play a game with no reason, or like have a day that doesn't have a plan, which is what I used to do a lot. Like I used to just like, I don't know, dawdle around in my room playing PlayStation 3 and then looking at something on the computer or whatever. Like, I can't do that anymore. And that in my head is like lazy. I can't be that anymore. I've got to have like a mission, an intent. A thing that I'm doing, that I'm on, that I'm about. Right, I'm pretty sure that I got a cactus farm in my base. One of the things I really need to get on building soon, because some of you are going to be like, you need a sheep farm, right? I need to build a furnace array, not a sheep farm. Look, I need to be able to smelt up more of this stuff. Like, I've smelted so much stuff, it's like, I really should have had this sorted by now. But I haven't. Because I'm a derp. Okay, we need 2 more stacks. And I'll take this over here. Building supplies, right? Hey, I can get that concrete. Oh, I'm so lucky that I remembered. Yeesh. I would have never thought I'd remembered. Grey, concrete, where art thou? There you are. If all of that went in there, yeah, we only need 2 stacks. Okay. I'm a professional lazy person. We thrive by doing stuff in the fastest lazy way possible. The video editor style. I mean, there's merit to, yeah, to figuring out the shortest path of resistance, right? The laziness that I'm referred to is just that feeling of can't be bothered. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. And if I find myself feeling like that, I swim against it. However, what I have learned is that sometimes you feel that way because of the thing that you're doing, and it needs to be addressed, right? So if I really feel like, oh my god, I can't be bothered today, then it's like, well, that doesn't mean I'm going to sit around doing nothing. I'm going to figure out like why I feel that way. As you can see, we will have no shortage of cactus dye. What I don't really have is a good supply of fuel. Kind of skimming on the old coal. It sustained me for a while. This really will probably be one of my next projects. Thinking about what's in my next episode of Hermitcraft, like not the one I'm currently making, the one after. I think I've got 2 projects that I'm going to combine, and then it will be the one after that. Anyone who has a good question about the desert biomes, I'm making a quest for my daughter and son-in-law. I built the Cheapos Pyramid and the Sphinx, the Suez Canal with ships to place the quest into. That's cool. I wish I had something to contribute to there. That's a really nice thing to do. I love that. You know, creating things for young'uns to enjoy using Minecraft. That's so cool. Girls, thank you for gifting a sub to Typically Thomas. Appreciate you doing that. Thomas, be sure to say thanks in the chat. Vegeta says, on that topic, X, I want to get your opinion. Do you think the pursuit of progress justifies people sacrificing their happiness and being lazy? I think the pursuit of progress comes from people who want to contribute to it. And, you know, like, if people are lazy, if they don't want to be a part of that, I think it's up to others to motivate them, you know? Like, the mindset of, like, less judgment and more, what can I do, sits so much better with me the more I think about it. Like, yeah, you could demonize people that are lazy, say they're not contributing enough or something like that, but, like, why not just try and motivate them? Oh yeah, I need 2 stacks, not 1. We'll wait for 1 more. Null Voidface says, OX, remember to get grey concrete if you're restocking the build. I got it right here, my dude. It's already there. But thanks for the reminder. No, we don't need too much more now, do we? Well, yeah, this will help repair my armor and stuff, won't it? What it, bruv? In it, geez. Bruv. Hi X, what are you working on? I'm clearly working on smelting green dye. There's nothing more I'm going to do in this stream. I'm just going to spend the whole stream smelting green dye. Is that okay? Yeah. No, I'm working on a lawn. Funny enough, landscaping. So we needed that. Oh, where did I leave the box? Oh, it's in here. Okay, I'll take that. I'll probably be back here in 5 minutes, realising that I need to do something else, but that's just how it goes. Although, that being said, one thing that I might use is more scaffolding. Apparently I don't have much scaffolding left lying around, whatever. Oh, can I go up? Dev says, I miss X, one of my favourite bits from streams. Look, Dev, we had to stop with the it's okay? It's not on. Right, don't bring it up again, you. Jeez. Disgusting. Less judgment and more what can I do? Thank you. Motivation isn't going to happen for everyone all the time. Let's help each other, says your average user. Yes, let's help each other. Help one another. And, you know, motivation doesn't have to be your factor for doing something. Motivation's part of the process. But you can start at any point. Action is a part of the process. If you can start with action, you'll get motivated. That's why if you want to be a writer, every day, sit down and write for 5 minutes. If it don't work, you've wasted 5 minutes. Big whoop. But you'll probably find the action of just trying and starting will lead you somewhere. And then, you know, maybe not every day, but on some days you'll just be motivated and you'll be writing, you'll be doing your thing. Just need a good question about the desert in Minecraft. Have a look on the wiki and see what things happen in there. Because I don't know if you're like quizzing them or you want them to learn. But like, you know, this type of rabbit spawns in the desert. Cactuses, camels, desert temples, wells. You know, the desert has features, like not a lot of water. Sandstone generates under the sand. There's all these properties to the biome that you can look up. It's part of the warm temperate, so it will generate next to other warm biomes, but not cold ones, for example. So like you can have a look at it from that perspective. Hopefully that sets you off on a bit of a path. What I meant was like for society in general, people being forced to work, just forced to stay alive. Do you think the societal progress comes out of that cause is justified? People aren't forced to work, right? It's not slavery, right? And then if you're trying to say, oh no, I mean things are a trap, right? The 9 to 5 grind, yada yada. It's set up to be this way. Well, you can look at it, but like, what's the alternative when you go back into the wild, right? If you think about how we come out of the, we start in the muck, we come out of the cave, life is brutal and difficult. There's so many things we forget you had to deal with, infant mortality being a huge one, and realize that, you know, there's a trade-off here. I'm not saying what we've got is perfect and fine and it's purely acceptable, but you've got to realize that, like, if you frame it like that mentally, you're sort of putting up walls that don't really need to be there. It's almost an opportunity to come partake in this level of society compared to the one that we had 200 years ago, right? Like, if you were to be born at a random place on Earth today, your chances are far better than they were of having a better life than 200 years ago. So these ideas of, you know, the 9 to 5 being forced slave labor and all of this, you know, there's always an element of truth in everything. There's always an element of truth, but it just gets exaggerated. Yeah, we should be striving to make work conditions better for people. And we should, you know, we want people to be happy and healthy when they work and not to feel like they're ground down just by doing some dull, mundane job. You know, a lot of boring, repetitive labor is slowly being pushed out as well, like with the automation of labor and whatnot. People used to have far more tedious, grindy jobs with physical, brutal manual labor way back when. I have a passing interest in history, so, you know, I learn about all sorts of different things from the past. Sometimes you learn about how they used to build bridges and out of steel and stuff, and then you just realize, oh my god, like the working conditions back then were awful compared to now. And in the future we'll probably be looking back thinking that today's were awful or whatever. So Tilly the Hun says, X, I find it very entertaining that a lot of British people that watch say dude as part of their general conversations. Growing up in California, my dad would get upset with me for saying it so often. It's a nice word. I don't get why people would get upset about it. The more advanced, luxurious lifestyle, the more you need to earn to maintain it, says Curls. Yeah, you can also, you know, adjust your living standards or the things that you value. You know, like, I don't collect stuff or put a lot of value in material possessions, so it means I can enjoy things more like experiences, like going on holiday and whatnot. Like how you look after your money and spend it as well is a part of the equation. Jaden Depp here for 26 months, saying sub for 26 months. Glad to support you, man. You're awesome. X, keep being you. Thank you, my dude. I appreciate it. Appreciate it ever so much. It's part of how much things we consider necessity. A lot of times we work for things we need that are really just wants that we literally could survive without. It's a trade-off. Yeah, very well said. The necessity, the needs and the wants, we get a little confused there sometimes. For sure, I see it. Something quote about trying to make things for the kids of the time over the generations, slowly making things better working conditions and such. It's scary to think that could be undone somehow, but it's true. There's been a definite trend. Yeah, I recommend looking up a book called Factfulness or another one called Enlightenment Now. Those were two that really turned me on to how we have data to really show that yes, things over time have been improving. I feel like I want to add like another type of slab into the equation, and I just realized what other type of slab we can put in. It would be granite, right? Since I don't have a lot, I'll be a bit shy with it. Do I not have more slabs than that? It's because they're in here, isn't it? There we go. From your recent video, is it that stressful thing coming to a close? I hope you feel relief soon, says Sitch. It's over. I am relieved of this stressful thing that I had to do, which as I kind of knew, once you got through it, you'd look back on it rather positively and be like, that was a good experience or whatever. It was just a bit of chaos, a bit of madness in the mind leading up to it. Now that it's all done with, it's kind of like a good memory. Like, yeah, I did that. That was worth doing. You know what else? You know what else factors in here? Stairs. You won't see it much, but some stairs would help, I think. Thank you for the well wishes as well. Honestly, it was a very stressful thing that really wound me up from the moment that I found out about it until it's over. And I think a lot of what I went through the end of December and January was pretty much related to this. However, I'm not gonna like rest on my laurels. I think you know, I was already wound up, so to speak, right? Like it wasn't just that, but maybe that was a trigger. That certainly started an unhealthy feeling for quite some time. But now that it's done with, you know, yeah, it's done with now. So like I can kind of look back at it positively, and it's no longer a thing that stresses me out now that it's dealt with. So all good. Right, I'm not sure where this starts, but you got to start somewhere, right? Oh, where's our shulker box with the... Oh, it's hit. Oh, it's on me. Gosh. Yeah, I want some of that too. Anyway, it's nice. I feel like I've turned a new leaf and just realised so many important things over recent months. And change, I think you need to find change like relatively frequently in life. Well, relatively frequently. I don't know. There's a frequency to change. Like, you try to change for the better. You try to figure out how to, you know, get through life and make the right decisions, all that kind of stuff. Oh, I'm doing this wrong because I want it to lower down every so often. Huh. You try and do all of that, but you got to sort of check yourself along the way, because you can be Mr. Fix-It and figure it out and all of that. But even when you are that, you just need a different perspective sometimes. Thank you for all the hearts in the chat. I really appreciate that. It's nice to see. Very nice to see. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and then we're back here. See, I feel like it's going to finish dropping down right about there, actually. This is, like, awkward to build. Who would have thought? Building in Minecraft can be awkward. For the love hearts in chat, I've got an animation for you. Yeah. Tango needs your help. He can't get on the server. Okay, he's not messaged me, but if he's live, tell him to use a VPN. Ah, it doesn't work if you're live. Oh, there's Tango. Let's see if I can spot anything in the console at least. I mean, is Tango streaming? Because it would seem so, right? He's just getting timeouts. So like, there's nothing in here that suggests anything different. I think. It's just getting timed out. That's what I'm seeing here. And it never provides much more than that. Yeah, tell me, some of you watching Tango, he is streaming. Okay, Tango is streaming. I'm gonna train y'all, okay? You can't, when I go, is Tango streaming, you have to reply, Tango is streaming, X. We're gonna figure it out, we're gonna get it done. One day I'll say, what's going on over there? And you'll reply, over there, this thing is happening. I forget the context. No need to apologise, Woomok. No need to apologise. It's just a thing. It's just a thing that happens, right? And I really want to be able to like look up at chat later on and then be like, aha, I know what we're talking about. Because I move quickly, you know. I really hope this works out what we're doing here. I'm kind of winging it big time, right? Is that actually what I'm trying to achieve here? Like a staggered thing that way? I don't think I am. I just think it turned out that way a little bit. I could really do a Scar round right now. I think it would have been nice to have like a lesson from Scar before starting this. You know, Scar, I'm going to build some giant lawns, and you make lawns look amazing. Please teach me. Now that I realise it, the green was supposed to sort of be the edge. Let's build a little bit of the edge. I really wanted to border it with like cyan terracotta, but when I was prototyping it a little bit, it just didn't feel right to do that. Anyways, before we... Scar is in Tango stream. Well, get a message to Scar in Tango stream. Stop watching that and get on here. Said so rudely. I'm going to change the standing, by the way, peeps. Been sitting for over an hour. Just listen to Landscape Your Mind. Well, you know, I'm streaming at the moment, so, you know. Oh, thank you for passing on the message, Woomuk. Appreciate you doing that. Okay, we're officially standing. Probably time to hydrate as well, right? Stealing Tango's viewers, lol, says Aretha Place. Oh, I'm a nefarious planner. I'm stealing his viewers. I don't know how I'm doing that, but apparently I am. Good stuff. Right. So with a little bit of that placed, then we return to these sorts of blocks, right? These blocks right here. Landscape Your Mind is the hypothetical audio book that Scar has narrated for Grian's Audible advertisement some months ago. It became a joke at this point. I mean, it sounds like, you know, if Scar made a book about landscaping, that just sounds 100% legit to me. Like, of course Scar would, right? Oh, maybe putting like certain blocks across the edge might help as well. It's something to consider. And always put the granite in freeze, right? The fact that there's like green grass everywhere around here too doesn't help. Like, I want to see the contrast somewhat. I'm so going to need Scar's help on this. Message to Scar was delivered in Tango stream. Awesome, awesome. I'm wondering if he'll pop on or I'll get a Discord message. Yeah, Scar would be immensely helpful right about now. Remember Aquatown? Like, that was so great for me, but it was because I was taking cues from great builders. Like, there were these, like, core examples of what to do right in front of me, and I could sort of see, aha, you know, I need to focus on shapes and this thing and that thing. Like, the elements are in place for me to come along and just sort of, like, riff off of it. And that's kind of what I feel like I need right now. I don't have the starting ideas. I don't have the formation of what I'm actually trying to do quite in my mind. But yeah, this feels like a good start. You know, maybe someone else comes along and sort of embellishes it a little. It does feel to me though that this looks slightly better when raised up. So maybe one thing you do is sort of keep it mostly raised up next door. Or maybe even recessed might be the way to do it, like always having a height difference like that. I'm really not sure. Blackjack, thank you for the nice message. You know, I wouldn't say I'm a great builder, I would say that I hustle. Like, I work myself when it comes to building, whereas other stuff just comes like quite naturally. Building is usually a bit of work for me, right? It's a bit of figuring it out. And, you know, for other people, it's just kind of like, that's what they do. They got that knack. I need a knack. What about the little trees that grow on moss? Use them as a borderline. It's a pretty cool idea. It's a pretty cool idea. One we might have to roll with. Yeah, I'm going to build this this out. It certainly will be thicker than what we currently got. Oh yeah, and what about the back? Like whenever something pops into your head, like a little bit of a vision, like you're like, oh, I think I can do something here. Probably best to just follow it for a moment. So like what's the back of this area? It just kind of occurred to me, like, don't make it flat. Don't do that. So like, what if it's like this? And you know, it just edges off like that. Definitely feels like something needs to be done about the border. Probably a case of putting in stair blocks, maybe. And again, just trying not to be too consistent can help. Like, let's have that one go back there. So again over here, we'll just change those slopes up a little bit. Oh, what happened here? It got a bit messy all of a sudden. Because it goes to the side, so... X, you've been focused on technical Minecraft for 11 years, and Scar and other builders have been focused on that for 11 years. It's only natural you have your niches. Oh, it is, I agree. It's just that I like the idea of building and making things look pretty, you know? It just doesn't come quite the same way as building a redstone contraption would, so... Anyway, we're a community. Like, we'll strive when we come together, right? Teamwork is what will make this project great. As it's kind of mahusive, I've sort of done it with the intent that if someone wants to, like, grind something out one day, there's just going to be loads of space around here. Maybe carpet for height difference. Carpet will not really be a height difference thing. It'll be more of a just changing up the details a little on the surface, that kind of thing. Dreamwork makes the TC dream work, says Curls. Yes, the coming together here. I'll tell you what we're missing though. We're missing something to go into that space. Don't know quite what it would be. Teamwork makes the... Wait, dreamwork makes the... Oh, I don't even know what you were trying to say now. I'm lost in the land of confusion. Tell me why this is the land of... That's not how it goes, is it? What is he singing? Tell me why this is the land of confusion. Genesis have this song called No Son of Mine. You're no son of mine. Right? And I remember now, it just popped into my head. Me and my mate were watching Genesis last year. And Phil Collins' son is playing the drums. And we were just joking that as he's singing that song, he just starts to turn over to the drummer and just lock eyes with him. As he tells him he's no son of his. Oh, so cruel. That's my twisted sense of humour, peeps. Cruelty. If it bleeds, it leads. Imagine finding out during a concert, says Girls. That's it. That's like the horror of it. It's hilarious. It's so terrible it's hilarious because it's not real. It's just a joke. Oh, we run out of this stuff. Yeah, I kind of don't want to be doing too much more of this until I can chat with Scar, really, because this pathing stuff just ain't quite feeling right. I got a feeling the lawn will probably stick. There's not too many ways to do a lawn, right? So this is probably good. Also, I feel like that thickness is probably about right. So maybe over here is where we see like the last bits of it come round. And it can just sort of taper off there, right, for now. So you have like that bit, and then you have like a bit of a break with the path, and then it does it again, brings it down over here. The pacing's actually worked out pretty well. I was a bit, maybe one or two more blocks here on the end. Like that, yeah. Probably go a little bit more. So then this stuff will come around to the side, so we'll get back on this again. Not placed enough of that coarse dirt yet. I like the idea of that idea of I like the idea of that idea, those bushes sort of around the edges. We might mess with that a little bit. Right, and then you're over here again, doing stuff with that. Now there's a bit of a contrast. Like, picture that there, and then another one here. I don't know. Is there a possibility that you could put a custom big painting where the empty spot is? Something card game related. I don't think there is. You can... They made it so... I mean, someone should correct me if I'm wrong, but they made it so that you can have better control over the paintings in a snapshot. And they brought in the ones from Bedrock Edition, but I don't think they gave you anything like that. Paintings are texture pack base, says Poly2. Yeah, but you have to overwrite, right? You overwrite an existing one. You don't get to... add in new images. Pretty sure that's the way it works. Also, we didn't put any of those down, which is fine. Putting things away because I feel like just doing a pass next. But I want to investigate. Yeah, I want to investigate that idea with the things at the edge. We don't really have a lot of those. So that's not good. Maybe we'll buy some from B-dubs. Can I put those somewhere else? Almost. What was I going to do? I was going to get some... I was going to get some torches. That was right. Nope, wrong chest. So we need the lights one. Wait, is the lights one? There it is. Huh, don't have a lot of torches. Do not have a lot of those. Don't I have a whole? I have a whole chest of sticks. Right, so I was thinking for a pass, I kind of remembered that I wanted to light things up and secure this area because, you know, now stuff's going to spawn under here, right? Not just at night, but in the day. Hey, I wonder if I can do a thing. Like, I haven't used this in a while. Okay, I know what that did. That's the wrong thing. It'll be under here. Left Alt and L. Right, am I rendering it? Now I'm rendering it. Yeah, there we go. We could actually properly light up everything with this. Just make sure it's all good and golden, really. Looks all good and golden down there, doesn't it? Stop any creepers wandering in, destroying stuff, you know? Don't want any of that. And yeah, since this area is going to have like a lot of stuff built over the top of it, then it's just good to have this like lit up now, I think. Creepers be creeping. Oh, they're going to be creeping. That's why we torching the place, yo. Just like they did with poor David. Yeah, they creeped David Copperfield, didn't they? Need to eat some food over here. Moving slow. Well, I know a secret method to do a sort of fake-size painting without all the map limits, which is making a custom model data with a flat image for any item. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. That is a possibility. I'm never sure how far to go with those sorts of things, like... Because once you do... I mean, now I'm thinking of examples where it has been used, like... Tango's door for decked out and the cards, they kind of like have stretched beyond the Minecraft aesthetic a bit. But like once you start bringing in like shapes that are basically images for massive walls, like custom paintings, you're not really going to be making maps to do that anymore. But then again, maps are so grindy, right? I don't know. There's definitely some sort of like need in this game, I think, for some sort of lettering that's quite big. That's like, you know, not written on a sign, but can be as big as a block. Like letter blocks, basically. You know, see it from a distance to make signs nice and big. Because it doesn't scale very well in this game. You can make those like 3x5 letters, like we've done with the TCG on the game itself, like what I'm looking at, that over there. But like, what about when you want it to just be the size of one block? It's a lot of work to make a map just for a letter. So there are ways of doing it, but it does feel like there needs to be some sort of middle ground. And then maybe, you know, in that front area, we would just put 3 blocks that say TCG. And then we wouldn't have this idea of like, it's not big enough for us to make Minecraft lettering. We don't just want to put a sign. You know, it's that awkward space in between where the sizes just aren't quite right. Banners. Yeah, banners kind of get you halfway there, but man, they are a lot of work to use as like multi-letter things, right? I know you can do a lot with banners. I feel like banners are much better though for detail, maybe. It's a good point though. You know, banners are pretty close to the size of a block. Then you got the render distance issue with them, maybe, if you were to look for a negative. Right, we'll come back to this space and do that. We need more, please. Good time to do it at night. You can sort of see how there's a lack of mobs around because you lit it all up. Unless you didn't. Unless you got it all wrong. Ha, we're meeting up with some other torches over here now. Just remembering your Season 4 banner shop now. That was fun, says Polly2. Yeah, I really like that. It's an idea I've always wanted to revisit. I don't think I fully got round to doing that the way I wanted to, which was to have like full alphabets in there in different colour schemes and like really provide a resource for getting your banner stuff done. There's just so many combinations though, right? But if you could put things in there that would spark off other people's imaginations, it could probably be quite helpful. Oh, look at this. There's actually some other torches around here, so we're doing a good job, I think. Of linking it up, there'll be no mobs for some distance, it seems. Right, that's kind of good. The light level blocks changing as the torch go down is so satisfying, says Ravon G. Yeah. Do you know where it'd be more satisfying? In a super hostile game? Dang. Because you got to light up that terrain. I've waffled about super hostile so many times. It's an experience that I absolutely adored. Never played enough of, but like totally couldn't go back to. It just it's just from a time when Minecraft was so much grindier, but you just embraced that. But super hostile, just an awesome Minecraft experience. That's actually, I think, something I wouldn't mind doing at some point with my video essays is maybe doing something on super hostile, but I never got deep enough into it to do it service. But it's a story worth telling, I think. There were very interesting ideas for custom maps in the early days of Minecraft maps where you didn't have tons of methods and tools at your fingertips for customization and stuff. Vegeta says, would you build an armor trim shop, X? Sounds grindy, but that's the same thing. So yeah, I have thought about this, and I'm thinking of doing a little video on armor trim, a video essay one. This is one of my interesting points that's like, it's a bit niche, but like when you think about server communities and shops, the armor trim is really not good for it because it's so pricey. Like, and it's like you've got to provide something that's rather individual to people. So who's gonna want to put that much of an investment into figuring out all the different combinations you could have, and then getting them all in your shop? It's a real ask, I think. So I don't think it pans out in a server economy very well. The Cheese Eater says, what's super hostile? So these are like old school Minecraft maps, where like way before all the customization, custom textures and special features, like the way in which they made these worlds were pretty tough to do. You had like world edit to create custom terrain in a very primitive way, and then you had mob spawners which you could customize to some extent. And with that, you would create worlds in which there's tons of dark space for mobs to spawn, it's full of mob spawners, and you have an objective which is to collect wool. But there's only so many of them because they're inside of dungeons. The walls are like your prize for conquering a dungeon, if you like. So you go through this dungeon, it would be full of like interesting terrain and horrible traps and mob spawners and dark areas that you need to light up. And it was often really quite grindy. You'd spend like a lot of time slowly chipping away and lighting up the dungeon. Legendary being one of them. I always wanted to like either play Legendary or like rewatch Etho's Legendary series because that was just such a crazy map. So difficult. And as the name implies, they generally do aim for like a fair amount of difficulty. But you know, as Minecraft got better and more customizable, it kind of fell a little bit wayside because so much of its core concept sort of relied on a simpler way of engaging with the game. And yeah, once upon a time it was really popular, and then trends come and go, and it sort of wasn't a thing to watch anymore. Because you got to remember, it weren't just playing; it was like making videos on it. It was a key component of that, as it always is in Minecraft. So basically, a CTM map, says Is Danny. I mean, it's funny you say that because it was CTM, right? I'm not 100% sure if CTM existed before it, but if let's say, okay, it wasn't the first CTM map, they were the ones to play at a time when that was new. Jaden Depp, thank you for gifting a sub to Sheepsaurus. Appreciate you gifting the sub, my dude. Thank you for supporting our community. And yeah, Sheepsaurus, be sure to say thanks in the chat. I quite miss people playing Complete the Monument maps with crazy enemy and bosses. Quite a culture of Minecraft that has gone away slowly into darkness, says Dev Chimera. It really has. I think it would be a hard sell to get people to watch again. You'd need a way to sort of reframe it for a new audience. I'm not sure what that would be. Right, let's get back to this. We talked about doing a pass. We did the torches. I'm not sure what I'd like to do next, actually. I'm not sure. I do want to take this jumper off, though. Dear Past X, you're going to need more than 2 stacks of torches. Well, I placed all the torches and I'm done now, so we're good. Hey! It's Shulverak here, resubscribing for 3 months. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate your resubscription. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I'm going to drink some water. Ow! That bumped into my teeth. Sometimes that can be awful. X, do you think trims should apply to elytras too? I think this would be good for players that do not have capes to add extra to their elytras. You could choose to have trim or cape texture if you had a cape already. Maybe. I really think that the trim system generally needs some refinement. I think in its current form, it's a bit... It's good, but it's kind of tacky. Like, some of those designs are just a bit garish, and the colour combos aren't particularly magnificent or anything, right? I feel they went for a sort of approach of, like, maximum customization, whereas maybe they should have, like, limited it a bit. Given us some good designs to take advantage of, as opposed to just sort of give us everything. Trims in the current stage are just a gimmick for armor, trying to give a lot of customization, but it feels empty, says Dev Chimera. Worded perhaps a little bit harsh for my take, but I think you're kind of touching on what I'm getting at. Yeah, it's a bit... I don't know. You know, 10... 11 different colours, alright. Colours is probably maybe something you can get away with, but those 10 different designs, they just feel a bit... We can put lines here, we can put lines there, you know. There's 1 or 2 of them that really pop, like the Vex one's kind of nice. Like when the trim, you know, goes just straight down the middle, it kind of looks a bit more like you're looking at an overcoat or something like that. One man's garish might be another's masterpiece, says PJ in the Loops. Yeah, sure, it's subjective, but I still think you can look at it in a way where you can sort of say, you know, these lines don't really say much, right? Again, it's subjective, so maybe you can be like, nope, I love how that looks, even though you don't. Maybe you can say that. Just gonna realise, like, as we put more of this together, if the sort of downward slope sort of aligns on either side, it will probably help a lot. Sheepsaurus says, Xisuma, I personally have not seen a lot of new contraptions utilising skulk items other than a few for faster mob farms. Do you think these new redstone items did not live up to the hype, or do we have to wait a bit longer for people to learn how to use them properly? I think they suffer from an issue, which is that their utility is more vanity than functional. So the sort of wireless nature of the skulk sensor, to me, doesn't have a lot of functional uses, but it does have creative and fun ones, and a lot of the technical community tends to focus on functionality. So I don't think you're going to see a lot done with them if you're looking for mob farms, let's say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is what we're going with here. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Does that go there? No. Moscow's there. I think. Whoops. You know what, the occasional one being wrong probably doesn't really matter too much. But I'm just trying to get the gradient like a little bit different from the other side. And where's my bed? Because it's now nighttime. Sorry for the wall of text. No problem, Dev. No problem. I'd rather make it like real armor, where people in medieval times wore armor but sort of had a robe on top. That's a cool idea. Like an aesthetic garment that goes over the top. That's pretty cool. Cub's latest video shows it off really well. All fun ideas, the two. I haven't seen Cub's video. When did that come out? Today? Oh, dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. A garment, that's the word to Skyfight. It really is, isn't it? Like, I'm not one for jumping on words too quickly, but I think I caught it that time. Garment. Absolutely is a garment. Dang it. Out of curiosity, why have you opted to not have any channel point rewards outside the obvious meme redemption? Is it a further complimentary piece on the derp coin and crypto parallel, pointing out the lack of value in digital currency? Oh, the lack of value in digital currency. You know, like, you can buy stuff with Bitcoin, right? And Ethereum and that, but the problem is, you know, you got to buy it from someone who believes it's valuable, right? You know, it's like you got to believe in it, because crypto can't light a fire, all right? But real money, you can burn real money, peeps. All right. When you take your £50 note down to the shop, and you'll say, "I'll have 1,000 Mars bars, sir," and they say, "We don't accept that. That made up stuff here, that's just paper. We don't think it's worth anything, really." You can say, "Well, at least I can burn it." But not with crypto. Can't burn crypto, peeps. It's not real money. You can't burn it, it's not real money. No. My whole derp coin arc, whatever you want to call it, you know, I wanted it to enlighten people. It wasn't so much crypto was the focus. Crypto was just kind of the happening thing that it could sound aesthetically a little bit like. What I wanted to teach people about was predatory practices with certain types of economy, like the gaming economy mainly, because of how much psychological leverage there is in gaming when it comes to you know, trying to squeeze money out of gamers' pockets, and how now games are designed with teams of psychologists, you know, are now part of the development cost, because they're there to maximize the revenue of the game. They're trying to create that FOMO, that fear of missing out. oh, if you don't like buy the latest Game Pass, you're going to miss out on the special event that we put on the game. Like, it's all like psychological, no, warfare. Sounds so drastic, doesn't it? It was really about teaching you about things like that, you know. You walk into a store because you're thirsty, you're going to buy a bottle of water, but you walk out with 2 because it was, you know, buy one get one half price. Well, congratulations, you just spent more money than you were going to actually spend, you know. Like when you see that thing that's discounted, the price is the price. Doesn't matter if it's got 99% off or 1% off, it costs what it costs. So I kind of wanted to open people's eyes to things like that and create some parallels. You became the Predator to teach a lesson, and you did an amazing job at it by basically making a huge parody out of it. I loved it, says Skyfire. Thank you, that's God, I've moaned a lot about putting all of that together, but you just said it there in a way. Like, you really got what I was trying to do. I know other people have as well. I've just been a bit moody about how that whole season went down, and every now and then someone will say something and it'll hit you a bit, right? And that just hit me a little bit. I'm like, yeah, that's what I was trying to do. That was it. To take on the role of the Predator, to teach a lesson. That's exactly kind of what I was going for. Derp Coin story was one of my most favourite storylines in Hermitcraft, says Curls. You know, y'all are going to encourage me to think of more storylines now, aren't you? To be honest, I mean, it does make me think a little bit. Like, I've had an inkling lately to get like stuck into something new, and I always look for like Hermitcraft and Minecraft as being a place to do that, but feeling like I come up at dead ends. But maybe telling another story might actually be kind of cool. Learn from previous lessons, and create something new might just be a really cool thing to do. I just don't know what it would be though. Lately, when it comes to stories, I've been kind of indulging in a little bit of 90s sci-fi, space opera type stuff. Watched a retrospective on Voyager on Next Generation, got one queued up for Deep Space Nine, watched one on Babylon 5, and it's really great to like re-enjoy something without having to put a massive amount of time into watching those episodes again. But I do love the storytelling of the space opera setting. I think it's really fantastic. I can't quite put into words why. And I haven't really gone deep on it either, because, you know, I've seen it in Star Trek and I've seen it in Babylon 5, but that's kind of where it ends for me. I've never really branched out further than that. I didn't really get far with Battlestar Galactica reboot. I kind of just sort of lost my interest along the way. But I love the storytelling, and I love thinking about it, and I love how they create characters and give them depth and storylines and put them in situations to tell a fable or give you something to think about. I don't know how that would translate to Hermitcraft, but if there was like an obvious way right in front of me, then I could definitely pursue something like that and just see where it goes. But that's not it. I don't think that's it. Because it's like a multi-character thing, and as characters on Hermitcraft, you can't control one another in that sort of way, right? It's far more organic and loose and mixed with our actual personalities and whatnot. So I don't really see Hermitcraft being a place to do something like that. But let's just say hypothetically it was. I could really chase up on that. I could just have fun by writing, by starting with writing. I really enjoy writing, and yeah, it would be a fun exercise. And it's the sort of thing where you can just derive pleasure from doing it, and then, hey, if it turns out that's probably not going to work, no biggie, right? Right, that's how our little green patch on this side is going to sort of wrap up for now. The TCG thing could bring out some Egyptian card player spirit that takes over your body and is the best player. Totally not ripping off Yu-Gi-Oh. So yeah, I could inhabit a personality, do a thing for a game. I don't think that kind of works for me. I find it hard to be the role player, you know, because in Season 8 I used Evil X as the proxy. So that meant that I could script, I could write, we could animate, you know. So much more could be put into that because of the nature in which it unraveled. One of the things you might remember, if you were around at the very beginning, is that I bumped into Iskall in the Nether as Evil X. One of my original ideas was to wander around the server as Evil X, and immediately I kind of learned I'm not good at this, like doing it on the fly. I got a little better later here and there where Evil X had to do some things, but I thought it would be easy, and immediately it didn't kind of like hit the vibe right, and it was, you know, I could work on it and probably get better, but the fact that I lacked that to begin with kind of like made me realize, oh, I got to do this a bit different. This won't quite work out. It's not one of my strengths, is sort of what I'm getting at. So, me playing the character, I find it so hard. Whereas the act of scripting and voiceovering the character, much more in my wheelhouse, that's for sure. Very much so. Awkward Evil X is the best, says Curls. I mean, yeah, it's got its merits. Like, I'm the kind of person, like, when I do what I do here, I can step back and just laugh at myself, right? This isn't like a professional gig. I'm not trying to make a career out of this. Just goofing around with friends on the internet, essentially. I'm not gonna worry about if I sound like an idiot or not. It's probably gonna happen. I think all we need to do next is go build up our mud supply. So we're gonna head back and get ourselves some more mud, is what we will do. That is what we will do. I recently watched your Season 8 and the animations were so good overall. You having trouble playing Evil X didn't show up that much, and that awkward bit made it so much more relatable. It's just funny, says Dragonel. Thank you, my dude. I'm glad you saw it that way. You know, I just remember... I remember the Iskall bit because it caught me off guard. Whereas, I imagine anything else that got a bit awkward, it was just funny and part of the role in my mind. But yeah, right, let's go fly somewhere else. USB noises. I just checked something on my phone. Plug it back in now. Diddly-doo. Oh, boo-boo-doo-boo. Diddly-doo. I think the Empire's crossover and Ren the King stuff this season was a pretty solid approach to Minecraft storytelling at its heart. The core of the story is all in service of playing the game together. Very good. Very good insight. You're absolutely right. It was done in a way that got us playing together, which was really cool and fun. Is there a Minecraft content creator that you have not worked with that you'd want to? I'm a very, like, self-oriented person with this stuff. I find it difficult to think or naturally move towards other people, right? I'm certainly fond of my fellow hermits, hanging out with them. I love the meetings. Love having the opportunity to play games together and stuff, but when I have to sit down and figure out, you know, where my ideas are going to take me, rarely does it involve someone else. It's just how I am with Minecraft. It's like, I'm going to build this farm, I'm going to put that thing there. I just don't think in those terms so well. Remember, you can act differently than your ordinary player. Just let go and use your imagination, says Kristen. You know, I could, it just doesn't come naturally to me, right? Like, there isn't an angle there for me, I guess, is what I'm getting at. It just doesn't happen for whatever reason. I should probably leave, like, a little bit behind because I'll need some for something else. I'm not sure if I can use grass. Let's go find out if we can use grass, because I seem to have more of that. You're very good to troll people in chat, says Kristen. Me? Trolling people in chat? I would never troll someone from my chat. I have trolled the hermits on occasion. It usually, I don't know. I feel like it goes over people's heads a little bit when I've tried to do that. What's going on here? Why can't I put the grass in? Actually, I think I know why I can't put it in. Oh, dang it. That went to the wrong spot. Hang on. Let's do that. That's more like it. Okay, so if I put that in my offhand instead, grab this. Come down here, do it. Ah! Nope, don't work with grass. Whoops. Okay, but it did produce some dirt. Right, well, now we have to get all the grass out. Now that we've learned that. Learned that the hard way. I've got a feeling I need to put these bottles back in. And I don't really want to rip this thing apart. Actually, I think... Ah! Aha! Looks like we got lucky there. Also, is this thing going to refill? I don't know if I run faster than the hopper speed, but it can take some of that, that's for sure. Right, let's try again. Right, now can I also... Oh, I've done this before. I can't F3 and P, because that's only for mouse. And... Is it for key... I don't think it's for keyboard as well. We can try. Is it F3 and P or F3 and T? Right, here we go. Letting go of everything. Yeah, it doesn't work for shift. That's what I thought. So if I do that again, I can free one hand. Right, now I'm holding shift. How can I confirm? I slapped. Oh, I just slapped myself in the face. Did you hear it? Oh, it's painful. Why am I doing that? That's a terrible way to demonstrate you got a hand free. I could just slap the desk. Oh, God. Now I've slapped myself on a live stream. Why? I can hydrate at least. I can guzzle. Only because it felt difficult to write the scripts or there being some negative feedback doesn't mean that it wasn't absolutely fantastic work you did. Lots of people loved it. It was just the negative noises that were louder when it happened. The vocal minority thing again. I don't know who writ that, but like there was part of the audience that didn't understand it. That was frustrating. Oh, either that you're just trying to steal from so and so, and it's like, oh. Sure, I'm creating a character so I can just steal diamonds from people. I don't care about diamonds. I mean, the economy of Hermitcraft, diamonds is really just, I don't know, a means to let items shuffle around between us to help us get stuff done. Right? It's not the equivalent of having money in your wallet IRL or something. Anyway. I am also part of that negativity is what I was going to say. It's like... It's my own reflection on doing it after it was finished. It's frustrating too. But I'm starting to warm up to it now a little bit. Because I've learned that people really did get it. And there's definitely fond things about it. I should probably go... I'd say go back and watch the episodes. There's actually a little compilation of the Evil X stuff. I should probably go watch it again. Just remind myself of what I did. What if you rebind your shift, says Baz? Then I could have two hands free. Icepick, thank you ever so much for 20 months of support. Appreciate it, my dude. Good evening, kind sir. Thank you, my dude. Thank you for your continued support. Shovel is about to break. It certainly is, isn't it? What will we do if it breaks? Oh my god. You should totally rewatch the 404 episode. One of my favourites, says Dev Chimera. I rewatch that, like, you know, a couple of times every year. That's the best episode ever. The guy with the long hair says, my favourite thing about Season 8 was seeing you use my derpy axolotl shield design for an entire season. It was really awesome to have that kind of influence. Same with the name of your wings for this season. Well, thank you for contributing, my dude. I do love getting some community suggestions in. And yeah, the axolotl shield was a lot of fun. Oh! It's getting low. It's getting low. It'd be a shame if it would break, wouldn't it? I think it would be a shame. Might not be a shame. Speaking of diamonds, does anyone happen to know why Season 1 had a gimmick of planning to burn diamonds? Yes, I know there was trolling involving, but I think I missed something. I don't recall Season 1 having a gimmick like that. I think Efo was the first person I saw who threw diamonds into lava just to mess with the viewers. I loved that. Thought it was great. Oh no, I know what you're on about now. You're on about the end of the season when I burned them. Yeah. And there was one season in which I didn't. And someone said you should have, and I went back and actually burned them. And I can't remember how I did it, but I managed to get it into an episode. Yes, Season 7 I made a trolling machine for burning diamonds, yep. But it was a tradition to just burn them. Oh, look at that. That's surprisingly not that slow because of the haste beacon. Huh. MTV says everything in Minecraft leads back to Efo. I mean, a lot of stuff does, but there's also a bit of a myth, I think, like an Efo did it kind of thing. Like over Minecraft history, you occasionally see like a Efo did it sort of comment, and it's like, maybe not on this one, but he's certainly done loads of, you know, unique, interesting, original stuff. It's just kind of how he plays the game. And of course you got the Efo hopper clock. Like, so many people that make contraptions, it is hard to get your name to stick to a contraction, right? Yeah, Efo has managed to have that one immortalized. Let's see. Diamond. First diamond in each new world has to meet lava. It's a rule, says Skyfighter. Well, depends on how much I need that first diamond. Impulse Sorter, Efo Hopper Croc, Xisuma Bed Wars. There's lots of stuff that sticks. I don't think Xisuma Bed Wars has ever stuck. I also didn't call it Bed Wars. Impulse filters, yeah, that sort of has. At least I see that. I certainly refer to it every time I look up that item filtering system. I think Impulse, and I've seen other people do it too. I don't know if it's carried quite the same way. One thing I used to have stuck to me was Chicken Farm, right? Like, I used to be the guy with the Chicken Farm tutorial. Obviously, you're fond of the many builds you have made over the years, but I'm wondering, is there a build you regret the execution of how you made it, or how it turned out, or how there is something you are less fond of now, you wish you did differently? Cheap Source says, not really when it comes to contraptions. There's somewhere like you make it and you realise, oh, I could have made it a little bit better, but it's not worth regretting. Not only the chicken farm, I was the animal breeding guy back in the beginning, but only in the small part of the community that I was a part of, I guess. King Claw Blazer, 2 months of support. Yo X, how you doing? I'm doing good, my dude. Thank you for asking. Honestly, about the farms, I'm so sad Monkey Farm isn't around anymore. Yeah, I can't really remember I mean, God, I've lived through it, right? Right next door to Monkey Farm. If I recall correctly, Monkey Farm was kind of killing it until they changed the algorithm to reflect viewer engagement, and then it wasn't the same after that. Yesterday I got recommended a video from 7 years ago where you made some sort of piston farm based on Mumbo's design. Oh, right. What farm was that? Awen's Musing, thank you so much for 13 months of support. Appreciate you coming through with a subscription there, my dude. Appreciate it. Peeps, if you enjoyed today's stream, be sure to hit the follow button over here on the twitch.tv/xisuma. And if you're looking for more content from me, be sure to check out linktree.xisuma.co. We're currently working on getting you a list of all the different series and games that I've played over the years. So if you're like Kadush in chat saying, have you ever played Anno 18,000 or any other city builder games, would be a great YouTube series. I could literally be like, linktree.asuma.co, I've played City Skylines and made several series on them, you know? That stuff's still in the works, it's not there yet though. Have you ever thought of making an end mega base for a season? Yeah, I've often thought about, you know, base in the Nether, base in the End, but the reason I tend not to do it is because I kind of like it if we did that together as a group. Remember Cube Control? That was an absolute classic. It inspired me to start making minigames, says Candom Mascus. Oh, thank you, my dude. I'm glad you saw it that way. I thought it was a great concept. I wouldn't mind sort of remastering it again. In fact, I had Cube Control 2 in development for such a long time, and it had loads of really interesting features. That I'm talking like years and years and years and years ago. It had like a map in the control room that sort of live updated, and it had some just amazing features, but it never got finished. And I've always wanted to go back to it, you know? And as for the idea about like sci-fi, I tend not to link stuff I enjoy IRL, like in the real world, or TV shows, to Minecraft. I know some people, like, you know, they'll go and build like the Enterprise or something like that, or like Joe Hills is building his pinball machine. I never really found like a vision of like, oh, I want to bring this into Minecraft, you know? Dang, how much of this? Oh, literally, the hopper behind it must be empty. I've got 9 stacks minus 1 to get through here. Dang. I remember you making a video about Cube Control 2. That would be such a fun game to finish now that the Minecraft has progressed so much. The extra mods would really make that awesome. Well, you see, I've got a project that I keep having to remind myself that I have to set aside that creative space for. It hasn't kicked into gear yet, but when it kicks into gear, that's where that energy will go, and then when it's finished, I'll probably have a place to put that energy again, and it might be Cube Control 2. Was that series map making with Xisuma? Because that was a short-lived little thing that I did. I kind of forgot what I did in that now. I remember doing a bunch of mechanics and things. I want automatic water doors to make a return to Minecraft this year, and your skeleton base is the perfect place for now that it's flooded. Yeah, that would be a cool door to have, wouldn't it? I messed around with an idea on stream of like something for the next season of Hermitcraft, of like having a base that's like scaled out with rooms and stuff, but I don't know, like I worked on it, I felt really quite passionate about it for a bit, and then it just kind of like, I don't know, sort of faded, but that could be something that works in those. Kristen says, yes, Cube Control was great, Hermitcraft versus Minecraft. That was such an amazing moment as a Minecraft fan to be able to like play with them and have such an crazy intense game or two. It was so good. I miss those days, but you know, they were great fun. Like Minecraft was different back then. Yeah, anyway, about Cube Control 2, I think making it with Create Mod would be kind of interesting. I've also developed a fair bit of design for creating it in survival. Haven't had a food waffle yet. What are your thoughts on ice cream? I don't eat it very often. You know, I stuffed myself silly with a massive curry the other day, and it was too much. And I always want to, like... I'm always hungry, okay? Like, it's hard to fill me up. And then... If I do get too filled up, it's because I've eaten too much and then I feel a bit gross, right? I can never get that perfect balance, but I was thinking, when I have like a big meal and I follow it up with a halo top, that really like hits the spot. And I was sort of making a rule in my head of like, stop eating those halo tops. I mean, God, like, for me, the most was probably like maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks. At one point in time, you know, so it's not going to kill me, it's not going to hurt me. Anyway, I was just thinking, like, it really hits the spot. And I should kind of maybe, rather than get like a mega curry, just have a big meal, but and then follow it up with a halo top. And that will hit the spot, and I'll be good. Sometimes things are allowed to hit the spot, says Girls. Of course they are. Like when I say hit the spot, what I'm getting at is like I haven't overeaten and I've been satisfied. Because usually every meal just ends with me like thinking, oh, what else can I pinch to eat? And it's like, no, you've eaten enough, you know? So yeah, I'm a big foodie, and today YouTube caught my attention, serving me videos, feeding me videos. I was literally going to say that. Woomuck, my favourite guitar is the 7-string Universe Ibanez. So, Dev says, I started a diet 2 days ago, and today I woke up with the common cold. The definition of not hitting the spot. You know, like the whole saying, I started a diet. Like, your diet is whatever you eat. Before you started this diet, that was your diet before it. I always lean in the direction of doing what's more sustainable, which tends to be changing your diet over time. Slowly shifting it in the right direction. If you do something sudden, you're going to run into all those problems of like craving stuff and not eating enough and whatnot. Like just turn the dials slowly, you know. That's my recommendation with this stuff. Anyway, YouTube served me up this... No, let's say fed. Fed me this video, right? Okay. Boiled eggs, deep fried. I was like, what? And then how you can turn them into sort of a bit of a stew or a soup as well. And I was just watching this video and I was thinking, if I like this, I'm going to do this so much. Like, this is going to be my new thing. Because I got jars of like pickled eggs that are already boiled. Which might not be the best way to do it, but might also be like the secret combination, right? Like, maybe they taste even better when the eggs are pickled. So anyway, I'm gonna chuck a load of oil in the pan, get it heated up, get the eggs in there, and like the equivalent of deep frying them, right? Or just frying them. I don't know. Maybe the deep fried terminology is for a reason, but yeah, frying them up. And then if I really like that, I could do a few at once and then put a stew around it. That just sounded like such a good meal for me because I love eggs. Eggs are cracking. I thought there was way more than just like 3. I thought there was like 4 rows, but no, it's 3 rows and a bit. Deep fried eggs. Yeah. Deep fried eggs in a stew, like whole, but then they all getting soggy, says Curls. The way they showed you cooking them in this video, there weren't no sog. I didn't see no sog. It was all good, really. I had deep fried pickled egg once, and they were surprisingly tasty, says Zal. Zalit Twig. You know, you're encouraging me big time now. Eggs are cracking. Yeah, no, yeah, you crack an egg, I get it. I think I want to get into cooking more. A bit stuck in my ways of how I choose to cook. I think it's because when I watch cooking videos, they're like... There's like way more ingredients, like a pinch of this, a teaspoonful of that, and a thing of this, and I'm just like, I don't want to buy all these things, because... like... I've got lots of stuff like spices, flour, sugar, and other stuff just in the cupboard that just goes out of date. Like someone buys some for me, or I buy it for myself for like a one-time use for a recipe, and then like a couple of years later, there's just all this stuff that needs throwing out. But whenever I watch these cooking videos, it's all about all those little pinches of this and that, and oh, dang. X, just watch a Gordon Ramsay video where he's cooking himself. So inspiring. He's so passionate about it, and the way he describes his flavours is so inspiring. I've watched a few of him, and again, it just tips and things that you can pick up and getting all inspired. But what I got to do mentally is dedicate the time. It's got to be like make this day or this whatever for cooking. And then you can do it, because otherwise you're just trying to get the cooking done quick so you can move on to the other thing. That's what I gotta do. If I can turn that leaf, then I can enjoy cooking and food in a new dimension, maybe. To sound all dramatic and whatnot. Right, I'm gonna grab that. We've got this. So some things get to stay over here, is the idea. That thing can probably stay on the ground, can't it? I think I'll put that one in the shulker box for now. There you go. All set for another adventure at another time. Because that is all that I have time for today. Hope you all enjoyed it. Big thank you to everyone for coming by. Be sure to hit the follow button if you had a good time. Stick around if you'd like to be a part of a raid as I find someone to raid. Yeah, big thanks to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. Thanks to the mods, the patrons, the people gifting subs. Y'all are appreciated. And I guess I'll send you over Tango, right, who was trying to stream Hermitcraft. And appears to now have been able to stream Hermitcraft. Anyway, the raid is, you know, doing its thing, so feel free to join in, and I'll see you all soon. Take care, bye-bye.